Now, you've mentioned intuition a few times, and I know you include in the book as well, intuition versus psychic. Difference?
Yeah.
The same?
So basically, the reason why I put this in the book is some of my students have dedicated themselves to studying tea leaf reading. And I wish I had met someone like myself when I first started walking a spiritual path, according to my son 1,000 years ago. Because in the beginning, it can be overwhelming as you try to absorb so much information, say on tarot and runes. And like I tell everyone, from my own experiences, you've got to find your own way. One that works for you might not work for this person. It takes time, patience, and trust is the key. Now, I've heard people discussing their psychic abilities or intuition and how they have a sense of knowing things before they happen. So in my own personal experience, intuition is this deep sense of knowing, the voice of your inner self. It's like your internal compass that guides you through each day. Sometimes do you have a hunch about who's calling you when you look at your phone? That's intuition. Or when you know what a friend is going to say before they reach out to you, that's also intuition. In my personal experience, intuition exists in everybody. It manifests as a small voice inside our heads, a gut feeling or a sudden change of decision based on that internal instinct. So Carl Jung, the psychologist, according to him, people who possess strong intuition often possess decision-making abilities that surpass most of the general population. So at the beginning stages of developing psychic abilities, it can be difficult to identify each one and understand their meanings. So basically, as I see it, is let's look at this at the minute. With permission, you can hold an object owned by a person to gain insight into their character or the object itself. That is known as psychometry, which is a psychic practice. And you're at work, you have a deadline to meet, and suddenly you get that solution that is known as intuition. I put that because when you in the beginning, it is a psychic ability. You're using that ability, and I think in time, as you grow as an individual spiritually, intuition comes second nature.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it never lets you down either.
No, it doesn't. You get this gut feeling that you think.
Yeah.
Like a couple of months ago, I saw a picture of two people together, and I looked at the photo and I thought, there's something going on here. So I asked this person, is there something going on? No. And I knew they weren't telling the truth. I'm not calling them a liar, but I just knew it wasn't the truth. I say to universe, spirit, whatever anyone calls it, said, show me their energy. Show me the true energy of that person. And then in 2 days, within a week, two things come and I got the confirmation. So, okay, thank you for that. Sometimes it can be quite, not awful is the word, like, be careful what you wish for. That's what I can always hear my nan saying that, even from spirit. I can hear her voice. What you put out is what you get back, kind of thing. Is that you be nice to people because you could meet them on the way back down. I remember my nan Phil saying that. And it's just this inner knowing. And I wanted to put that in the book because I really do believe that most of my readings are intuitive. I use my intuition, yes, I have people around me from spirit, and I'm tapping into whatever energy's there at the time. And if it's a negative energy, I always say, right, thank you for sharing that with me, take it away. I'm not working with that. I put boundaries down. I think boundaries are important. That's why I do three 3, 6, 9 months readings. And when it comes to relationship readings, they're quite interesting because I always hear very clearly a spirit maybe saying to me, it's the relationship with themselves that they've got to look at. Will we get back together? And that what comes out every single time. It's about the relationship with themselves. And sometimes I say things to people they might not want to hear, but relationship wise, I always say seek guidance from a counsellor, a relationship counsellor, because I can't say, yes, you're going to marry them. I am a qualified hypnotherapist. I remember once somebody phoned me up and they asked, can you get my husband-to-be to stop smoking? And I went, okay, let's talk to him. And it turns out that he didn't want to give up smoking. And I said, look, I'm not going to use hypnotherapy because it ain't going to work, because you're going to do the opposite. You've been sent here by your wife-to-be to give up smoking. And then I just pushed the money back and went, are you sure? I said, yeah, because you don't want to do it. I went, okay. Well, they split up and it was my fault, I was told, that because I wouldn't hypnotise him to stop smoking, I must have stopped him from marrying her. Now, yeah, he's gone on to be with someone very happy, got loads of kids. She's still on her own. Now, I don't know why, but in the end, it got quite toxic. But I always say is put boundaries down when you're dealing with people, and have your clauses in. This is when I do a reading. This is when I don't do a reading. This is when I do hypnotherapy. I love past life regression. I love using certain meditations and hypnosis to take someone back to past life. Again, I have boundaries in that. I had a gentleman, he was in his 90s. He wanted to find out what he was in the past life. I said, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to, because of his age. I take responsibility. I always think that also, as a trained counsellor, I hold the space for that person doing a tea leaf reading, doing a past life regression. I hold that space for that person at that moment in time. So energetically wise, they're supported for whatever reason at that moment in time. And when I do that, I always give thanks to the universe or whoever is around me at that time. Because again, I think it's important to have boundaries. I wish I'd known that in my 20s, because it would have saved a lot of heartache. But obviously,
it's experience again, though, isn't it? I think sometimes we have to learn by our own mistakes, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, definitely the hard way. Go around Will's mothers, as my nan used to say. But if you want to invest in a good cup, I would go for a white one, because it's neutral and it shows up the tea leaves and the coffee grounds in the cup. There are special cups you can get. When I always buy one, it always gets broken. So I've given up. So,
you're not meant to have it.
No, actually, I'm like, but that's it. Not having any more. Like, kids go, oh, I'm really sorry. So don't worry about it. It's just one of those things, I'm not meant to have it. So